Okay, welcome back. This is my episode 6, I think. Yeah, 6 on my journey to 1 Bitcoin. Portfolio update very quickly. I hit my first goal. I think back in February. Yeah, back in February, March, I set a goal. I wanted to get to 0.25 Bitcoin. So I wanted to get to 25% of owning 1 Bitcoin. And as of today, today's Friday, happy Friday everyone. I just got paid, so today's investment day. And I took care of my bills, put money aside, and I just invested the last of what I needed to hit 0.25 Bitcoin. So yes, today, big step for me, 0.25 Bitcoin. I think my average, this has taken my average up to 103,000. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. And I was like 10% profit, 10% in the green. I'm down to like, I think 4% now. Obviously the markets have crashed. But yeah, 0.25 Bitcoin. And today's video is how has it taken me 4 months to get 0.25 Bitcoin? Because, as you know, if you're in the space, that's not easy to get. That definitely is not a small number. And I want to make this video because on my last video, I can't remember the name, but someone commented, it was something like, wow, how much the plasterers make, you know, based on my last portfolio update. And it's, I kind of replied saying not enough, because it's true. I'll admit I am on more than the average. I'm self-employed, so I earn as much as I work, basically. I'm on my second job of the day. Today's Friday. It's 1 o'clock exactly. Just finishing up my second job. This morning's job, I had a tiny wall to patch, that was it. And in full transparency, I put £300 in for it. Took me half a day, and now I'm on my second job. And this second job, again, I'm putting £200 in for this. So it's not a bad Friday. And this definitely helps. This definitely contributes towards me being able to afford what I do. If you're a returning viewer and you're not subscribed, could you do me a favor and just click subscribe? I've got 70 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 100. 100 is a bit of a milestone. My first milestone was 0.25 Bitcoin, and my second milestone is 100 subs. So yeah, just helps the channel out. It's free for you to do so. Doesn't cost you anything. The algorithm's going to send you my videos anyway. But yeah, just click subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Okay, on to how I afforded 0.25 Bitcoin. It's not all come from my income. I have been saving for a mortgage for the past 3 years, and 2 weeks ago I gave up on that because of the state of I'm self-employed. It's so hard to get a mortgage in principle, and the state of the housing market in the UK. I'm based around Manchester, and long story short, I've been chasing a mortgage for 3 years and I just can't do it. It's so difficult to get a mortgage. So you'll have to see my last video of why I made this decision. But yeah, essentially I withdrew £9,000 from my lifetime ISA and put that into Bitcoin, and I bought 1 Ethereum with it. I'll put a picture on screen of all my holdings. I think I hold a bit of XRP, Ethereum, tiny bit of Sui, and Bitcoin. That's all I hold. So yeah, straight away, 9,000 of that went into my Bitcoin. I've been saving that for 3 years. So yeah, 3 years of savings straight into Bitcoin. Also, I got a tax rebate this year, and I got a £4,000 tax rebate. All of that went into Bitcoin. The reason I was able to do all of that is because every year I get a rebate. Sometimes it's 2,000, sometimes it's, I think last year I got £600 or £400, something like that. This year I had quite a good year last year, and you know, this year I got £4,000. I've not needed that money all year. I've gone without it. It's literally just a big lump sum of cash gone into my account, and instead of wasting it, which we all do, we all waste our cash, I put it straight into Bitcoin. So yeah, there's that. Another big one was I won't go into the details, but I ended up winning a like a tenancy dispute with my previous landlord. I was in a house share. It was more of like a little bed sit, in a really terrible part of Manchester. The landlord was even worse, and the property was even worse than the landlord. And basically, he tried scamming me out of my mortgage deposit 2 years ago now. He basically said, "You're not getting your mortgage deposit back." So I went down the correct avenue. I took him to court, got my deposit back, and essentially the court ruled in my favour because of what he did. The court ruled in my favour, and I got £3,000 back, and all that went straight into Bitcoin. Again, it's money I didn't have. I didn't need it, so put it straight into Bitcoin. And lastly, last year my mum passed away. She was 77. She passed away, and it came down to me paying for my mum's funeral. I won't go too much into it. Basically, we thought my mum's funeral was paid for. My mum put £6,000 aside to pay for her own funeral, and she gave that to one of my sisters. When my mum passed away, it turns out my sister no longer had my mum's funeral money, which we didn't really find that out until she passed away, and me and two of my sisters were sitting inside what's it called, the funeral directors. We arranged all the funeral, like, right, okay, how are you going to pay for it? And everyone did this, like, we all looked around, had a bit of a private conversation. Basically, the money's no longer there. So I was sitting there. I basically paid for my mum's funeral. It took, I think it cost £6,000. But then all that went through, and then a short time later, my sister, who was my mum's primary carer, she kind of got, my mum died with £16,000 in her bank, and then all that went to my sister, who was a primary carer. It was used to be split between all the kids, but I kind of pushed for no one gets anything but my sister, who was a primary carer. So yeah, she got all the money, and then she kind of paid me back for, you know, covering my mum's funeral on the very last minute. Anyway, long story short, I put £6,000 aside for my mum's funeral, and then a few months later, my sister gave me that all back once she got access to, you know, that money. So again, that was £6,000. It had left my bank. I didn't need it. Then all of a sudden, I'm given £6,000 of someone, and then I'm like, okay, great. I'm not going to waste it. You know, it was very good of her to reimburse me. Not that I needed it. You know, it was my mum's funeral at the end of the day. I was happy to pay for it, but she insisted. Yeah, so that's £6,000, and I think all in total. And then I've been putting my wages in here and there. You know, I've been putting my investments away. I've been investing into my child's future. I've got a lifetime ISA open for my daughter. That's the most important one, really, because after what happened with my mum, I've kind of made it my goal that I don't want to die and leave my children with my daughter with nothing. I'm quite successful. I don't own I don't own any property or anything like that. I'm not in debt, which is a big one. And I've got a big client base. I'm self-employed, successfully self-employed, and I don't ever go short of work. But my other sisters are not in that situation, and when my mum passed away, no one really got left with anything. In full transparency, they'd only waste it anyway, apart from my one sister that was a full-time carer. She deserved it, but yeah, I don't want to leave my daughter in that situation. I don't want to pass away and leave my daughter with absolutely nothing. Anyway, sidetracked again, back to it. Yes, that is where all my Bitcoin contributions have come from, and that totals, I think, about 20,000, whatever it works out as. £20,000 has gone into Bitcoin, and it's got me to 0.25 Bitcoin. But I'm very, very disciplined in what I do with my money, where it comes from, where it goes. I prioritize it. My bills, my daughter's lifetime ISA, my own spending, like my own investments, and then emergency fund. And it just so happens the only thing I need money for is to invest. But yeah, what's the next step? The next step is 0.3 Bitcoin. So I need another 0.05 Bitcoin. I think that's the right maths. Yeah, it is. But yeah, my next goal is 0.3 Bitcoin. And I originally set my 0.25 Bitcoin goal for the end of the year. And if I keep going on the way I am, I'm working a lot. I think I'll get to 0.3 by the end of the year. Hopefully I get there before the price rockets too much. I'm completely in the red right now, which is great. I welcome every single red day. The more red in the market, the more I buy. If it was up to me, I would wish for red for the next year. I want Bitcoin to absolutely plummet because I've not got enough of it, and it's the only way I'm going to buy in low enough. I hate green days. I do. I hate Bitcoin green days, and that's just because I'm in it for the long run. My Bitcoin isn't mine. I don't intend to spend it. My Bitcoin is here to be left for my daughter. That's it. So as red as possible, and I'm buying. But yeah, my next step is 0.3 Bitcoin, and how do I want to get to that? So, like I just said, I'm red in everything. All my stocks are red. I have, I think, £6,000 I've been investing into my stocks and shares ISA. That is held in Ford. Now, my Ford stock is down like £2,000, whatever it is. I'm getting dividends off it, so it's passive income. But once that Ford stock goes green, once it goes back to where I invested, goes green, I have a price limit where I want to sell. Once it hits that limit, I will have made like £1,000 profit. So hopefully I can withdraw £7,000 out of my Ford and put that £7,000 into Bitcoin or XRP. I don't know yet. XRP is a difficult one. I'm new into the whole XRP space, and although I do think it will go up, I don't want to get into the habit of day trading, buying low, selling high, because I'm self-employed. I've got enough tax stuff to deal with on my own. I can't be bothered doing more tax. It's just a headache. Yeah, some people say invest in these altcoins. It'll go up 10x. Take that money and then invest it into Bitcoin. Okay, if that's if that's what's going to happen, I hope it works for you guys. I'm on the fence whether to do that at the minute. I really don't know. I think I might just safely invest into Bitcoin, never ever sell it, and then pass it on to my daughter. That's it. That way I don't have to deal with the tax. I can't be bothered with it. But yeah, this video went on for a bit longer than I'd wanted. I went into a few details that no one really needs to hear, I guess. But you know, this channel's more of a way for me to vent. I'm gonna call it there. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, everyone who isn't subscribed, I'm 30 subs away from 100. So please leave a subscription. No. So please press the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, and if you don't like the video, leave a dislike. I don't mind. It's all feedback. Yeah, cheers for watching. I'll see you in the next one.